So this is Christmas, and you're Bari Weiss. You're talking to Erika Kirk. Her husband lost his life. So this is Christmas, and you've got the blues. 'Cause there's all these conspiracies, and they all involve the... Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Hello, how are we? Holiday cheer. Holiday cheer is here. Is it out yet? Is the town hall out?
No, I think it comes out Saturday.
Oh, my God. Bari Weiss, friend of the show, we'll be having a town hall with Erika Kirk to discuss a tragedy that happened, and that tragedy is the rise of anti-Semitism. And Bari will cover that with Erika. She will cover it with her. She will go, now, Erika, hello, it's Bari Weiss. Welcome to Honestly. And she'll say, Erika Kirk is here, and she's been dealing with the trauma that many of us have been dealing with. And by that, I mean the rise of anti-Semitism. Erika, how have you been handling the rise in anti-Semitism? We, of course, kid Bari. Bari, CEO of CBS, I sent her a text the other day. I said, come on the show. We're the top 30 shows in the country. Top 25 when we're released on the old Spotify. No response. But, of course, the door is always open. The door is always open. There's always room at the inn. There's always room at the inn. Let's take a look at this. This is a preview of the town hall with Bari Weiss, Erika Kirk. Now, obviously, we feel horrible about what happened to Charlie Kirk, and this is his wife, and this is a horrible thing, and we don't know what's going on. I know Candace. I'm friendly with Candace. I think Candace is traumatized. She lost a very good friend. And a lot of the circumstances around this thing are weird. So I think Candace, whether people feel like she has the smoking gun or not, has unearthed some weird shit that has gone down with Turning Point USA. And Erika Kirk kind of fired back at her on Fox, saying leave the TPUSA family out of it. I don't know what I think about all this, and I'm honest about that. I don't know enough, but I'm going to tell you, after we watch this clip, I'm going to tell you maybe what I think happened. And I'm not basing this on any info that I have that anyone else doesn't have, or any expertise in anything. I'm going to put out some version of maybe what looks like it could have happened if it's not what everyone thinks it is, which it could be. You could have a guy who is dating a furry, and, he was trying to impress the furry. I don't know. That's all, it's 2025 here. Everything's on the table. I don't know. But this is really heated up. So here is, again, Bari Weiss, friend of the show, talking to Erika Kirk in the CBS town hall. Now, by the way, you got to give it to Bari. She knows how to get some views, because this is the type of stuff they need to do on CBS. Cut out the 60 Minutes horse shit. Bari knows how to turn this into a Brainrot slop factory quicker than anyone, and it needs to be done. The big news as I sit in LA right now is Hollywood. Is it Netflix? Is it Paramount? Who will own Warner Brothers? Who will own the big Brainrot slop factory that we all must feed at the trough of the Brainrot slop factory? Who will own it? The Saudis? who will own the slop factory that you will line up for, and like a little piggy that you are, go and put your face in the trough of brain rot that will be a lot of it AI generated and churned out, and it will melt the minds of you and your family. And everyone is debating who should own that, whose name should go on the side of that brain rot slop factory. But what Bari's going to do here with CBS, which I have to give her credit for and respect, is she's going to really turn this into some version of Jerry Springer very quickly. Very, very quickly. Here she is, Bari Weiss, Erika Kirk, friends of the show.
One of the most alarming things about Charlie's murder was the way that some people in this country reacted to it.
Yeah.
And not just online. This was an idea that you encountered a lot. And the idea was this. They kind of justified it. They basically said that because Charlie said or believed things that they believed were controversial or even hateful.
Who is doing Bari Weiss's makeup, by the way? An undertaker? Who is slathering that blush on Bari Weiss's bagel-filled cheek? And I don't say it because she's Jewish. I say it because she eats carbs. But who is doing that? I mean, who is slathering on? That's like my mother used to take lipstick and rub it on her cheeks. Bari Weiss, everyone, friend of the show, Erika Kirk.
That he somehow had it coming. What do you say to people who justified his death?
You're sick. He's a human being. You think he deserved that? Tell that to my 3-year-old daughter. Excuse me. You want to watch in high res the video of my husband being murdered and laugh and say he deserves it? There's something very sick in your soul, and I pray.
By the way, fully agree. Obviously, I said that, and I agree. Anyone celebrating, this guy getting killed, we said it the day after it happened. Sick, truly is the word. Keep going.
That God saves you. I pray, because that is what is so wrong. The internet in this world has dehumanized us.
Bari's like, now next question, Israel. Bari's like, thank you for that. Very powerful. Now, the next question. Why did we do a ceasefire? Go and get him. Well, I'll be watching that because this is very interesting here. Here's what I will say about this thing, which I don't know much about. They're now unearthing weird things about the finances of TPUSA. Charlie Kirk, who I believe was someone who they could not compromise because he was not a drug addict or secretly gay, he didn't have a gambling problem or whatever, which, by the way, a lot of people in politics do. They can be compromised because they're living some type of double life, and I don't believe that was the case with him. I believe there were people around him that was the case. And those people were probably either compromised to a degree. And again, none of this suggests that they killed him. But there's a weird picture emerging with that organization where there are people that Charlie had ordered an internal audit of TPUSA going, hey, where's a lot of this money coming from? Where's it going? Like, what's happening? And I think what started to happen was, I'm just going off of nothing here. And I want to preface what I say. So when it's reported by like MSNBC or something to fill their airwaves, I want to preface, and I'm just kind of going over that. I think it is very possible that Charlie Kirk, if it wasn't the lover of the furry, Tyler Robinson, right? Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
If it wasn't him, I think it's very possible that Charlie Kirk discovered something before he died, and not a lot of people knew about it. And it was something damning, and it was something that threatened the existence not only of that organization, but of the kind of political infrastructure that supported that organization, meaning some of the very big donors, perhaps, or maybe something in the administration or some weird connection. I don't know. But it is possible when I read his texts from a few days before that event, and he's talking about they're going to kill me, and now obviously texts are weird because you don't have context, right? But when he's talking about they're going to kill me, they're attacking me, he sounded like a guy who was trying to say something. And if you read between the lines, that interview he did with Megyn Kelly, where he was going, I'm being accused of this. They're saying I'm being attacked. I felt like there was something he wasn't saying. Again, this is all literally based. This is off a hunch. This is just a thought experiment. It's an exercise. That organization seems like it was being used by certain people in ways that Charlie didn't know about. And he may or may not have stumbled upon something that was damning enough that someone decided that he had to go. Now, I do not know what that could have been, or if he found something out. It may not have been that. It may have been a deranged individual with a gun. There's a lot of those people in America. I don't know. But the only reason I say this, I look at the texts, I see some of his interviews, he seemed a little bit, I don't know if I'd use the word frightened. He seemed deeply disturbed by something. Something at the end of his life seemed to be deeply troubling him and deeply disturbing him. I never met him. I know people that knew him. I don't know anyone that knew him in his final days. All I'm judging is the texts that are out, the interviews that he did. It's not like I'm talking to people that knew him and have confided in me and said, no, you're right. Candace knows people. She knows all those people. I don't really know those people. That's not really my beat. I don't know those people. It seems like something was deeply, he felt unsettled at the end of his life. Was it only because he was losing donors? I don't know. He ran an organization that dealt with donors being happy or unhappy a lot. He knew how to deal with donors leaving, or this probably wasn't new for him. There's no way. This is the way those super PACs, political organizations work. People are always threatening to pull their money. It seems like that alone was not. Yeah, Charlie. Anyway, I'm not sure if I will live to see the end of this revolution. I believe you're the peace God meant to meet that will finish the fight. This is from the text from Candace, right? Mm-hmm. Since the beginning of TPUSA, I knew in my gut that I might get wiped dead at any time. I cannot explain it, but I dream about it all the time, like all the time. Anyway, that's a present convo for another time. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, there's other texts, there's other things. He's doing some of these interviews. So I don't know. My suspicion, if I was looking at this from, again, from 30,000 feet, which I kind of am, I would say that there's a very good chance that he ordered that audit because he smelled a rat. He thought something was going on and something was wrong. and that he didn't quite know what was real and what wasn't, and who his friends were and who weren't his friends. Because he's using a lot of they and the people out there. And I think that doesn't only mean, by the way, billionaire donors. It might mean that he was unsure of certain people in his circle. He was probably potentially, he's ordering this audit. He's does anything I'm saying sound crazy? No. Because I feel like at the end of his life, he was on to something. And I don't know what that was. He thought he was. That's why he ordered, I think, an audit. A lot of these political people, I spoke to a very big person today who used to be in politics on the Democrat side and knows the very top tier Democrat families in Chicago and is a very smart person. And these mega rich families all operate the same way. And it's usually like they put their people in power, and those people to some degree are like compromised in some way. And then the people that aren't compromised, they try to compromise or they get rid of. And these are the people that these, mega powerful dynasties, they're arranging all of this so that they have people to go out do their bidding without questioning it. And I was talking to her, and she said it seems very likely that lots of people in that organization had to be compromised. And there was dirt on them, and the people knew things about them, and that was why they had to, without any question, keep performing the tasks and, keep pushing the narrative, So I'm going to watch the town hall. We feel terrible for obviously what happened to Erika Kirk. What she's going through is terrible. And again, I'm looking at it from the outside. Something smells off to me about it. That doesn't mean there's something off, but there's something that feels to me very often. It's very possible that he figured something out at the end, and it terrified him because he went, "Whoa, what the fuck is happening?" I think it was a ground. If it was something that he figured out, I think it moved the ground under his feet a little bit. I think he was like, this is a little crazy, and I don't really know what I'm a part of here. And that's why he ordered the audit, and he said, I got to get out of this. Now, he probably confided that in only a few people. This is what I would think. When something like that happens, he might have told a few close friends, his wife, something like that. I don't know. He might have told no one. But it does feel like at the end of his life, he was deeply unsettled. He felt something like this happening. He felt this inertia, this weird thing. Folks, I cannot stop talking about hymns even when I'm on the street. I go, what about hymns? And people go, what? And I have to talk to you about it. Because according to the National Institute of Health, as many as 30 million men in the U.S. experience ED. It's more common than a bad night's sleep. The good news, Hims makes getting access to treatment simple so you can feel like yourself again without the stress or awkwardness. Through Hims, you can access personalized prescription treatment options for ED like hard mints and Sex RX plus Climax Control if prescribed. Hims offers access to ED treatments options ranging from trusted generics that cost 95% less to brand names to hard mints if prescribed. Think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self with a simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for ED and more all in one place. To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/Tim. That's hims.com/Tim for your free online visit, hims.com/Tim. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve of or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Aura frames are a big deal. I love them. It's so important right now to give a gift that people really like. If you're a last-minute shopper like me, you know the feeling. Shelves are empty and ideas are running low. Aura frames is a solution that is personal. It's a digital picture frame. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. You can preload photos before it ships, personalize your gift, add a message before it arrives, share photos and videos effortlessly. It includes a gift box. It's such a nice thing. You know, Aura frames are great. My friend got me one, and it's so great. All these photos of us, and I'm looking at them, and I'm laughing and crying, and that's what you want. It's the emotion. People are just, it's really exciting to see your life. This is your life. That was a thing. Was it Sesame Street they did that? This is your life? It was a whole thing. A great trip down memory lane. For limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com. To get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code TIM at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code TIM. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Miss Rachel, they tried to nominate for Anti-Semite of the Year. What a mistake. What a PR mistake to nominate Miss Rachel. Supposedly she's connected to Hamas or something. This is so silly and fucking ridiculous. She brought that little girl on, and it was sweet, and it was this poor girl. And, supposedly she was, play this. Does this look, come on. Come on, let's see this.
Back to sleep, Rahaf. We're so tired. See the bunny
Is this what Hamas is doing?
It's nearly noon. Shall we wake them with a merry tune?
Yeah, it feels.
They're so still. Are they
Is this woman like a dangerous woman? Is that like a dangerous woman? She doesn't seem like it. Church nativity scene shows zip-tied baby Jesus and ICE agents dressed as Roman soldiers. It is interesting when people do a creative nativity. Something fun. Okay. That's Jesus zip-tied? And then and what are we looking at here? And then the ICE agents are the
Romans.
The Romans. Okay. I wouldn't know what that is if I just saw that. Can you close up on the picture on the bottom there? Do they have gas masks on? Oh, yeah, I guess. Okay. So they're making a political statement there with a zip-tied Jesus. But Jesus didn't live in America. But here's the thing. If Jesus was in America illegally, I think he should leave. No, if Jesus was in America illegally, why wouldn't Jesus come in legally? That's the question I'd have to ask them. Why would Jesus not come in legally? Why would he come in illegally? Apparently they're suggesting that Jesus, like ICE would have zip-tied baby Jesus. Okay. I'm not saying they would or wouldn't have. They probably would have. But what would Jesus be doing in America? It didn't even exist. I know the point they're making. But if Jesus came to America, it's a different thing. But he was not in America. America didn't exist. And if Jesus came here now and he came here illegally, I think it would be a different conversation. And that's all I have to say on it. Truly. Is it, you got a zip-tied baby, which is not good. Why would Jesus' parents bring him to America illegally? It's crazy. What's the point of that? So let me get this straight. Jesus shows up in America illegally. He's undocumented. And then he's deported, and we're all supposed to go be upset. Just because he's Jesus. The whole thing's off. They came to the country illegally. Joseph and Mary brought him illegally, but if he was born here, he'd have birthright citizenship. So they brought him as an infant when he's not even Jesus yet. No one really knows he's, well, I guess they do. Why do we want an illegal Jesus? Is their point that Jesus, if he comes back, is going to come through the immigration system? That might be the point. They might be saying Jesus is going to come over on an H-1B. I think he would just come back because he's like the Son of God, so he wouldn't need to come here on an H-1B with a bunch of Indian people. But if he did, that'd be fine. Like if Jesus was like, I'm coming to work at SpaceX with a bunch of Indian people, cool. But have the paperwork. Have the paperwork. Don't be running around. I would love to ask these people. I'd love to just sit down with them and go, I understand what you're saying. That because their point is this. I've talked endlessly about this ICE stuff, which I do not like. But their point here is that someone getting deported is maybe Jesus. That's what they're saying with this. They're saying that someone getting deported, it could be Jesus. That's a very big claim to make. That like someone getting deported might be Jesus. Now, I guess you could say that, but it seems, I don't know, it's a little forward. It's a little forward to just say somebody might, speaking of people who need Jesus, this Bonnie Blue person seems to have mental issues. This is the woman who, what did she sleep with 150 guys in a day?
I think it was 1,000.
1,000 guys in a day? That doesn't even seem fun. So Bonnie Blue, who seems, again, even for a porn star, seems to be unwell. Like someone who's, what did she do? She had sex with 1,057 men in 12 hours in a documentary about her career. What kind of documentary is that? She's now facing up to 15 years imprisonment in Indonesia and fines up to 6 billion rupiah. What is that? $30? Oh, it's approximately $541. Wow, 6 billion rupiah is approximately 541 thou. That's some exchange rate. A large cache of items, including professional video cameras, mountains of contraceptives, and erectile drugs, a small blue light pickup truck with the words Bonnie Blue's Bang Bus painted across the front and side, in addition to her own Instagram account in which she can be seen soliciting school-age teenagers over the age of 18 for pornographic activities, were seized by police in Bali following a tip from concerned citizens. I don't understand what this woman is trying to do. Let's watch a little bit of this. I'm wondering about her mental state here. I don't think, and I'm not for one of these people where you just got to like ban all porn or anything. I think that porn has had some very negative effects. But this woman, I'm going to say it right now, and I hope no one takes offense, seems to be a little bit of a whore. Like just from what it seems a little bit of a whore from what I'm seeing. Let's take a little look here. Bonnie Blue's Bang Bus.
Well, controversial content creator Bonnie Blue has been detained by police in Bali over alleged pornographic activities.
By the way, let's stop that for a minute. It's hilarious to call her a controversial content creator. I am a controversial content creator. She's a porn star. What do you mean a controversial content creator? It's so funny, the Orwellian speak. What do you mean? She's banging 1,000 guys in 12 hours. She's setting up a bus in Bali and telling a bunch of people to climb in and fuck her. What do you mean a controversial content creator? What is she, Piers Morgan? She's a hooker. All right.
The British woman was banned from Australia and its schoolies celebrations, heading instead to Indonesia.
Bonnie Blue's sordid adventure to Bali has taken a dramatic twist. The 26-year-old questioned by officers at a police station in Kuta. She was spotted talking to two people, one believed to be a lawyer. The controversial OnlyFans creator announced her arrival last week.
Hey boys, those that are going to schoolies and to those that are barely legal, cannot wait to meet you, and I'm in Bali, so you know exactly what that means.
As schoolies from Australia headed to the island paradise. Bonnie Blue had earlier been banned from the Gold Coast and then kicked out of Fiji. She posted herself on social media.
This is, by the way, I like don't follow this woman at all. So I like barely know what's happening with this. I knew she was like a psycho. She's getting banned from countries for fucking everyone. She's fucking so many people, it's become a national security threat. She's so much of a whore that there's a national security threat. I mean, this is this isn't sexual liberation. Whatever this is gross. It's like grotesque. It's not sexual liberation. It looks terrible. It is a horrific example of whatever this culture has become, where this woman is going around the world trying to just, I guess, have sex with the most people that she can. It is such an egregious example of like what not to do. And I don't think the incel culture is good. I don't think that's healthy. I think people need to have sex. People need to have connections. This is so like, it makes your skin crawl. Whatever this woman is doing, I don't know why she's doing. I don't know what she's doing. I mean, I can't even imagine. Let's watch a little more of this. Is she trying to break, is it a Guinness World Record? Not that it would justify it, but like, why is this woman doing this? Is this fun? It can't be fun. There's no way this is fun. All right, let's watch a little more here.
Cruising Bali's nightclub strip.
Hey parents, remember when I said I was going to pick your sons up? I wasn't lying.
Travelling in a ute, picking up young men.
Hi boys!
Local police have confirmed several foreign nationals are being questioned for working as content creators, allegedly engaging in pornographic activities. Authorities say they expect to release more information.
This is a new thing, by the way. This is like a new thing. And this is like the marriage of all possible terrible trends. This woman is like invading countries with her pussy and like damaging diplomatic relationships all over the world. This is like, what part of globalization is this? Tom Friedman didn't even know this was possible. This bitch is out there with her pussy getting banned from Australia. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. What trade deal accounts for this bitch's cunt? Someone needs to put tariffs on this pussy now. Tariff this bitch's pussy now. I don't know what's going on. I wasn't even aware of that. I didn't know this was like a global incident. That she was fucking her way, like she's truly fucking her way, and now she's, what are they trying to put her in jail for 15?
Yeah.
She'll fuck everyone there. She will fuck her way out of jail. I don't understand. Is there any more of this, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I was, egg on my face here. I was really. Bonnie Blue received multiple warnings before OnlyFans permanently banned her. Wow. So even they're like, get out of here. So last week, OnlyFans dramatically announced that the famous content creator Bonnie Blue is now banned from the platform. She sat down with the Tab to explain step by step exactly how this came about. In May, when an announcement of a Bonnie Blue UK dogging tour went viral, the Tab uncovered that the whole thing was a hoax by a comedy Facebook page. It was a joke. The OnlyFans team thought Bonnie Blue was breaching their guidelines about extreme challenge content. So she didn't take any action because she didn't organize this dogging tour. She believed she hadn't broken the OnlyFans policy. So this woman's from the UK. She's a porn star. And she's doing all these extreme... And is she rich? I mean, she must have lots of money, yes?
I believe so.
Yes. So she's doing all these extreme sexual challenges. She's riding around in a yurt and just with her pussy out. She should do this in Africa with a bunch of AIDS people. I would, if you want me to pay, I want to see you in Sierra Leone with your pussy out, and in AIDS Town. I want to see your pussy out in AIDS Town. Interesting. So she's really going hard, and every OnlyFans is banning her, and she made over $2 million per month from OnlyFans at one point. Well, she seems really sick. I didn't realize this was a global problem. I had heard her name, and I thought she was like a porn star. Like, we grew up with porn stars, and you would hear their name, Lisa Ann, whatever. But Chasey Lane was an old one. But you wouldn't, this idea that they would be like getting banned from countries, it is not something that I was prepared for. But we wish her well. We wish her the best. We think she's has lots of problems, and it seems to will only get worse. Her inability to pivot. At a certain point in your career, you got to pivot. And Bonnie Blue, I think, has to pivot now because they want her for 15 years in an Indonesian prison. When your pussy puts you in an Indonesian prison for 15 years, you got to think to yourself, there's got to be a pivot here. There's got to be another way. Do cooking content. Remember when Joe Rogan put out the spotlight on ivermectin by calling out the establishment a few years back, and boom, millions of people who had never heard of the drug were super curious? Well, if I told you 80% of the world's ivermectin supply comes from Asia, but not at the wellness company, introducing American-made ivermectin, safe, trusted, tested, and produced locally in Florida. Ivermectin has been prescribed globally for more than 30 years and even earned the Nobel Prize in Medicine for its proven ability to eliminate parasites. But after success treating COVID, emerging research shows the wonder drug can help with everything from rosacea, arthritis, even cancer. Most pharmacies charge $5 per tablet for 12 milligrams or less, but the wellness company is offering a higher 18 milligram dose for $3.50 per tablet. You'll get a 6-month supply or 84 tablets at an unbeatable price. Support American medicine and Patriot doctors, not China's supply chain. Get your U.S.-made ivermectin today. That's twc.health/TimD. Use code TimD to save $30 off USA residents only. Visit www.twc.health/TimD to get American-made ivermectin, helping USA residents only. So many people I know are using Nutrafol and loving it. The holidays can get busy and overwhelming quickly, and thoughtful gifts that encourage slowing down and prioritizing self-care always stand out. Nutrafol give the gift of stronger and faster growing hair, an ideal gift for anyone who needs it. It's the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with Nutrafol. I'm telling you, it's the perfect gift for anyone on your list. Your mom or aunt going through menopause, a friend who just had a baby and experienced postpartum hair shedding, your husband or father who relies on a baseball hat to cover it up, yourself or anyone looking to support their overall hair health. Give the gift of confidence this holiday season with Nutrafol. Whether you're treating yourself or someone on your list, visibly healthier, thicker hair is the gift that keeps on giving. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months. Right now, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription plus free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and use the promo code Tim Dillon.
Yes.
That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Tim Dillon for $10 off. A lot of people are now on these GLP-1s, and we have a great article here, 7 tips to enjoy the holidays on the GLP-1s. Because fatty boom baddies are out there, and many of them are on the shot, and they're trying to figure out how they can live and at the holidays on the shot. So here's my favorite things. It's like an alcoholic when they talk about this. Adjust expectations and have a plan. So if you're going to Christmas on Ozempic, you got to have a plan. Because here's the thing. If you go nuts with the Ozempic and then the food, something happens, but it's not good. I don't know what it is. You start shitting everywhere or you explode. There's a thing. If you're on the shot and you eat too much, you get sick. It's part of why the shot works. So adjust expectations and have a plan. Before you attend a holiday gathering, consider your own expectations. You may associate certain get-togethers or parties with the food traditionally shared there, but it can help to consider all the reasons you're excited for the event. Maybe you get to meet your new niece or see a friend you haven't seen in a long time. So basically, step 1, I'm going to simplify all these steps. Step 1 is just be a person, not a pig. That's step 1. Now, most people aren't super excited. A lot of people are not really super excited to see family. And food is a big part of it. And getting into a food coma and kind of sitting on the couch is sort of a big thing. But step 1 there is they go, be a person, not a pig. Talk to your niece. Don't just fucking ogle the fucking, string bean casserole. Don't skip meals or your medication. You may be tempted to skip breakfast. You can eat more at a holiday lunch or go all day without eating so you can load up at the holiday party. So here's step 2. Step 2 is basically saying, I know what you think you're going to do, but you're not going to do that. You hear me? Oink, oink, pig. That's step 2. Oink, oink, because you go, well, I'll just have a coffee in the morning and I'll oink, 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 and I'll skip that so that by the time I go to my Christmas dinner, I can just kill myself. That's probably what you're thinking. You go, well, I'll just show up ravenous and I'll kill myself at the house with food. Oink, oink, piggy. That's not the way it works. Rule 3, think about the structure of your plate. When it comes time for a meal or a buffet line, consider the composition of your plate. On a typical day, half your plate should be non-starchy vegetables, a quarter of your plate should be lean protein, and the other quarter should be whole grains or starches. Of course, at meal holiday gatherings, the vegetables might come in creams, gravies, or butter, and a lot of the offerings will be starches. Do the best you can. Focus on these smaller portions so you can help enjoy your traditional favorites. Okay, so think about the structure of your plate. Ready? Let me break down this rule for you, okay? Okay, it's a plate, not a trough, you pig. Do you understand that? A plate is for food. It's not a trough. Don't pile things so high on your plate that it's hard to get them back to the table. Get one plate and arrange it with different food groups and then eat it like a human being. Oink, oink, pig. You understand that, piggy, oink, oink? Okay? Don't treat it like a trough where there's feed, where there's bags of feed and you're an animal and that's how you eat. 4, know which food will cause side effects. And that's also 5. 4 and 5 are the same one. Know which foods will cause side effects, okay? Basically, like, you can't eat anything you want anymore, you pig. This is rules 4 and 5. Certain things you eat are going to make you shit. And people don't want that. No one wants you talking about that you're... Here's the other thing. If you're on one of these things, And they're good. I have many friends. I tried it. I hated the constipation. I didn't like. There's a lot of things I didn't like about it. But they're getting better. And I might get another one. There's one my doctor told me about. It's not the Mounjaro. It's called fentanyl. But this thing is like no one wants to hear about the fact that you're on these things. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Can I talk to all of you at the holiday? Don't talk about that you have to shoot. Now, I'm not against it. I tried. I didn't love it. I tried it. I'm not against you doing it. I think it's good. Do not tell people at the holidays about your journey with this drug. Everyone's on it. Everyone in LA, everyone in DC, high up people, a lot of people are on it. But here's the deal. No one wants to hear about your bowel movement. Nobody wants to hear about nobody wants you at the table going, it takes less time for the food to move through the small intestine, so I feel full. It's disgusting. It's don't take your shot in front of people. It's nothing to be proud of. Hey, piggy, piggy, piggy poo. It ain't nothing to be proud of. Do it and have it work. It is nothing to be proud of. Do not grab your stomach and inject yourself in front of the children. Do not inject yourself in front of the children. Here's another rule. The alcohol will probably hit you a little harder than you're used to because of the way medications slow down your gastrointestinal system, especially if you've been drinking less. Savor your drink with small sips. Hey, you lush. Calm down. Calm down. You're going to get drunk. Now, number 6, don't neglect other healthy habits. By the way, of which there are none. Of which there are none. What habits? Don't neglect. Make sure you're getting regular exercise and quality sleep during the busy holiday season. That's great. Number 7. This is my favorite rule of all the rules. Okay? Because they know what it is. Give yourself grace if things don't go according to plan, then return to the routine. Here's what rule number 7 says. You're a pig, and you're going to behave like a pig, and you're going to shit yourself or vomit or do something. Do it in your car. Do it in your house. You're going to disgrace yourself, but it's okay. Give yourself grace. Say, I went to the bathroom to vomit up the food because I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. And give yourself grace. Say, it's Christmas, and I had an excuse because I was eating and eating and eating, and I felt like I was going to pop, and I went to the bathroom, and I started vomiting all over someone's house. And then give yourself grace. Change your shirt. Ask someone if they have an extra shirt. Say that you're on the shot. Say you're on Ozempic and you couldn't stop eating and you vomited all over their bathroom because even though you're on the shot, you said, this was my night to get really nasty with it. So you did it. You did it because that's the only rule that matters is rule 7 because there go all the other rules. You go, it's not going to work. You're going to go and do something disgusting. So just give yourself grace. Don't, when you're in the car on the way home and you say, I felt bad, I shit all over the floor, you want to remember, this is okay. It's all fine. You'll get them next time. You'll get them next time you'll go to a holiday and you'll learn how to eat like a person next time. So those are the rules. And again, I hope to God that you follow these rules. Young people now experiencing a relationship killer, the swag gap, or dressing different than your partner. The swag gap. Dillon Escorse has meticulously curated his statement look for a recent date at a bar in Houston. He arrived wearing a thrifted orange zip-up hoodie, a camouflage crop tee, and bootcut jeans. an aesthetic designed to complement the venue's Latin and jazz scene. His date, whom he'd been seeing for a couple of months, showed up in black Lululemon leggings, an oversized gray sweatshirt, and dirty Nike Air Forces. The casual chic look didn't go over well with escorts, who said the outfit didn't match the vibe of the bar and took her choice of clothing as a personal slight. Well, he's also having sex with men. I mean, what is this? Yeah, he was mad at her because he wanted to get pounded out somewhere else. You want to look good for the person you're with, not throw on pajama pants and Crocs, said Escorts, a 20-year-old student at the University of Houston. It felt like a smack in the face. Close up on him and his outfit. This looks terrible. He's judging someone? What is this? Iterations of the swag gap, here go down. Iterations of the swag gap have plagued couples for centuries. Cavemen and women probably wrestle with style imbalances, but Gen Z is putting its own stamp on it, turning an age-old relationship strain into an instantly diagnosable flaw. Yeah, you know what, guys? Every time I try to have a little hope for Gen Z and I say something good about them, something like this happens. You're lucky to be alive. That's all I have to tell these people. You are lucky to be alive. You are lucky to have anyone that can stand you. You're lucky to have anyone that can stand to be in a room with you. Okay? I mean, this is like anybody focusing on this, I mean, just wait. Your life's going to get so much worse. Truly, if this is a thing. Now, I know people that, I know certain couples where one of them's a bum. We all know that's what older people realize. We all know couples where one of them is a bum. And there's something else that makes it work. I mean, like that Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, he's like the most famous bum who really snagged this hot bitch. And he, is like, I mean, the guy's like, he's kind of an unremarkable guy, to say it nicely. But here's the thing. We all know that. This is the way relationships are. This is like younger people don't understand. They think the world is an algorithm, but it's not. And you're not necessarily going to end up with somebody. Just be happy your husband isn't a pedophile. You know what I mean? Just be happy your husband's computer is not being taken out of the house by the FBI. So what? You said, let him wear sweatpants. Stop. My friend is in Long Island. Some woman married a guy on his block. That guy was taken away for sex trafficking. I swear to God. They had all planned a block party. The whole block did a block party that summer. The guy somehow sent an email in prison because he was still on the email chain. And he goes, I find it pretty disappointing how nobody stood up and defended me. The guy went away for CP. Went away for like CP, like child porn and trafficking. And like literally like he was like emailing the people on the Long Island email chain like, hey guys, literally under who's bringing the potato salad, this guy goes, hey, it's a little crazy that nobody's really defending me here. But that woman thought she had a normal husband and the FBI came in and took him out of the house. Just be happy. This whole thing that your fucking husband doesn't have the same fucking boots as you have no idea what's coming your way. If this is the shit Gen Z is worried about, you have no goddamn idea what's coming your way. People that have secret families, people that just to cheat on you, people that'll steal your money. I have friends, people have stolen their money. Their husband or wife has literally stolen from them, stolen their money. And these people are worried about this bitch got a crop top and he's got that. Listen, you don't know what's coming. You don't know the hell that's coming. Be grateful. If your biggest issue with your partner is that they don't dress great, they're hygienic, they're a human, but they're not stylish. If that's your biggest issue, you're doing good. The problem, I think, with a lot of younger people right now that I'm fucking doing a whole episode where I sound like a fucking unk. I know all the lingo. I know all the goddamn lingo, folks. Okay? I know all the lingo. Don't make me crash out. But what I will tell you is this. People want too much out of life. They want too much out of life. They want everything to fit neatly together, and it doesn't. And I don't know what that's about. The expectations these people have for life are way too fucking high. Way too high. Get health care. Get a house. You know, this idea that everything in your life is going to be perfect or you're going to live in an idyllic wonderland and that your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend's going to have the fucking exact style you want them to and they compliment every room and they turn heads and everything's... Get that shit out of your head. Your expectations for life are too high. I'm telling you, it's turning people into monsters because they hyper analyze every single thing. Ooh, these icks. This one's got an ick, and this one's got an ick. I don't like this I don't like. Oh, you fucking. I went on a date today. I had a nice little date with somebody in med school at a restaurant in Beverly Hills. And I realized I had nose hair like coming out of my nose. It was gross. You know, but here's the reality. I'm rich. So just cheat on me. If you know what I mean? Just be in a relationship with me and just cheat on me with other people. I'm not going to care that much. It's not going to bother me that much. I've got other shit to do, you know? I was invited to the Vance Christmas party. I'm not going, but I was invited. So here's my point. Yes, I want one of those little scissors to cut the nose hair. I want that little scissor. My grandmother had it, and I don't know where. I think I've asked you to get it for me. No one's gotten it for me. The point is this. I could have canceled the date because I had to think of nose hair coming out of my nose. But you know what it is, folks? Life is not going to be what you think it is. It's certainly not going to be perfect. You need to adjust your expectations down. If you're talking about any of this crap, you know why Benny Blanco, this bridge troll, got this fake Hispanic woman? She's not, I don't think she even can say words in Spanish. But here's the point. He got her because he realizes that, you know, it's all for the taking out there. It's about confidence or whatever. I don't know. Watch Andrew Huberman if you want that shit. The point is this. I like him. I'm just saying, you know, water and sun or whatever. Walk up a hill. Here's the point. Don't get too down on yourself. You know, you're a bum. That's fine. There's a lot of bums out there. Somebody's going to fall in love with a bum. The expectations that people have for life. People are becoming sterile, clinical, sexless, angry people. They're becoming the robots that they so fear because they're they watch porn all day and they watch Bonnie Blue, 500 fishermen in a van or whatever the hell she's doing. And they lose sight of the fact that life is not supposed to look and feel like an airbrushed fucking Instagram selfie. Life is messy and gross and pointless in many cases. And I think there's a very big point to it. But I mean, a lot of the things you do are pointless. Oh, look, I got a shirt and it's the fashionable shirt and I'm going to put it on. It's pointless. It doesn't involve you spiritually, financially, socially. It hurts you in many of those ways. You're wrong and I'm right. Watch someone else if you disagree. I'm fully right. Not everyone's going to be me with a style. I have a designer. I come in here. I'm designed impeccably. I'm a polo. I'm impeccably designed. But a lot of people are not going to have that. So there's going to be a lot of people that are angry. ARMRA colostrum is nature's original superfood. Colostrum is packed with over 400 bioactive nutrients that fortify gut health, strengthen immune health, promote healthy metabolism, and fuel fitness performance. Because keeping up with the chaos of modern life is a lot more fun when you have some stamina to it. We worked out a special deal for our audience. Receive 30% off your first subscription order. Go to armra.com/Tim and enter TIM to get 30% off your first subscription order. Laughing at life is easier when you actually feel good. That's ARMRA, ARMRA.com/Tim. That's ARMRA.com/Tim. So many health benefits. You're going to love it. If you're looking for a holiday gift that says, I know you, like I really know you, listen up. Trade is a coffee subscription where every bag is picked to match the exact taste and roasted to order by local roasters around the country. It's thoughtful, but also extremely easy. The best combo. It's the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., Trade. Their team of expert baristas, tasters, and Q graders use real coffee knowledge to match you with the coffees you'll love. They curate over 500 coffees so you can try something new with every delivery. Just in time for the holidays, you can give the coffee lover you want on your list roasted to order coffee again and again, and it can be delivered to their inboxes in minutes, making it the perfect last-minute gift that still feels thoughtful. Right now, Trade is offering 25% off gift subscriptions at drinktrade.com/TIM and 20% off gift sets. That's drinktrade.com/TIM to get 25% off gift subscriptions and 20% off gift sets. drinktrade.com/Tim. What's going on with these Somalis in Minnesota? You know, I have friends from Minnesota. A lot of people that do comedy are from Minnesota, and they're all very waifish, twink-like, straight, but weird, pale people, and you kind of see their hearts beating and the blood going up and down their veins. Many of them are bald, young and bald. But they love Somalis because they all play soccer together and they kind of live in this frozen hell. But, and I don't care about, I have no beef with Somalis. That Black Hawk Down was a good movie. But here's what I'm saying. I enjoyed that, and I think that's where that is. But here's the point. The Somalis stole a bunch of money, I think, from the Pancake House in Minnesota, and they sent it to Somalia to do what? Some kind of war? I'm trying to get the specifics on this. So Somalis are in Minnesota. By the way, you can have it. You've conquered it. It's yours. But I get it. You know, there's fraud going on, right? They've discovered fraud. The Somalis, not all of them, but some of them. Ilhan Omar is there. Maine's Medicaid program bilked out of millions of dollars in Somali fraud whistleblower. But this is Maine. Medicare fraud's like an old school thing that a lot of different groups of people have done. And the worry, here's the worry, is that people who are coming to America now, at a time when America's not so hot, not doing so great, economically or any other way. It doesn't seem like a healthy culture when this poor guy, Charlie Kirk, gets shot and then people are dancing and celebrating it on TikTok. It seems like an unhealthy culture. And there's other instances of that, the other side politically, by the way. Doesn't seem like a healthy culture where we are insanely divided. But all these people are coming over and they're here, and some of them are going to, because they are organized to a certain degree, like many people in the past were organized, they're going to engage in criminal activity, and Medicare fraud is one of the things that people do. And I just think, fraud in Minnesota, detailing the nearly $1 billion in schemes. Okay, make this. While fraud in Minnesota has been covered for years by Fox, it has been gaining national attention recently. $300 million from Feeding Our Future. The possibility of nearly $220 million in autism program fraud and $302 million from the Housing Stabilization Program adds up to $822 million in fraud from the Minnesota services. Fraud in Minnesota has led to attacks by Trump on the Somali community, whatever. The story of fraud in Minnesota gained national attention after an article was published citing anonymous sources claiming money from these fraud cases was being funneled to terrorist organization Al-Shabaab. Friend of the show, Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab is a militant wing of the Somali Council of Islamic Courts that took over most of southern Somalia in 2006. As of this publishing, nobody has been able to provide evidence that any money from these fraud cases in Minnesota has gone to fund terrorism in Somalia. Ilhan Omar told one reporter, if there was a linkage in the money that they have stolen going to terrorism, then that is a failure of the FBI and our court system in not figuring that out. Rep Omar added that she's pretty confident any link to Minnesota fraud dollars and terrorism is a false claim. So here's the deal. If you come here to America from a culture that is radically different, like Somalia, I'm sure there's lots of people that are lovely and great. And there are people that, are not going to vibe with the American culture. And some of them will see it as an opportunity to steal money if they can and send it back to a place they care about, which would be Somalia. This is not all people, obviously. But it could be enough people where you might start to look at the amount of people coming into an area, gaining political power, these types of schemes being exposed. And again, I'm not saying that this is even fully fleshed out, but I'm sure there's more here. There's something here, I imagine. There's smoke, there seems to be fire. And by the way, Russians have done this. Lots of people have engaged in Medicare fraud and Medicaid fraud. This is not something new. But this does speak to the issue of is it wise to import millions of people from certain countries during this period in our history? We owe $37 trillion in debt. Unemployment is high. The economy is not good. AI is around the corner. Robotics are around the corner. I don't understand why any discussion about limiting immigration becomes that you're Hitler. It doesn't make any sense to me unless you wanted to bring in all these different types of people that have no loyalty to each other at all, so that when those people got replaced by machines, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. That would make sense. If you wanted a culture of people that really didn't share that much and viewed each other with suspicion, and then you wanted to control that group of people with AI, perhaps, then I might understand why you would just keep bringing people in. So I just, again, I'm always confused by people. I talk to people. I mean, my friend went to Thanksgiving with his family. The husband and the wife are there. They make decent money. They do not own anything in New York City. They live in Brooklyn. They rent. It's fine. It's not great. They're not thrilled. They have money, but they're not over the top money. The wife is screaming and yelling about how could anyone think immigration is any type of problem. Again, I can't tell anyone how to feel about anything. It's not why I exist. It's not what I'm trying to do. But it's just logical to me that if you look around at a country that isn't thriving and it isn't doing great, and this pathology, it seems like a pathology that I first encountered, I've encountered it many times, but when I was sitting there with my aunt and she said, well, if you get rid of immigration, who's going to be your doctor? And I went, what? And she goes, well, my doctor's from Pakistan. And I go, why aren't we training people in America to be doctors? And she said, well, I was a teacher and nobody wants to do their homework. Pakistan's kind of a profoundly dysfunctional culture. Like, we would look at it from the Western standpoint. People have less rights, kind of corrupt. I'm not shitting on Pakistan. I'm sure there's a lot of things in Pakistan that are great. But, it was the butt of a lot of jokes for many, many years. Pakistan, I'll go live in Pakistan. The idea that we're sourcing our doctors from Pakistan and not America is crazy. And the idea that you don't think that's any kind of problem feels like a pathology to me. I don't know what it is. It's white guilt on a crazy level. The idea that you could just sit there and go, we should be bringing in Chinese, Indian, Pakistani people to do our engineering jobs and fuck people that live in rural Pennsylvania. Let them go die on fentanyl. We don't care about those people. The idea that, and it's Elon Musk doing it, by the way. It's a lot of the tech people, you know, and then he can do anything. He could let you say the N-word on Twitter or whatever. But I'm sure you'd rather healthcare and you'd rather your kids maybe have a job at one of his fucking factories. So I just don't understand why Americans at one point were convinced that they didn't have any type of claim on their country, on the jobs, on a share of the economic pie, and that all of that made them some type of racist or ethnocentrist or somebody that would is the goal here that Americans should compete with the entire world for jobs? Is that the point? Is the point that Americans should compete with people from all over the world for jobs in their own country? That's one of the most psychotic things I've ever heard. And it would only make sense if you were part of the asset-owning class that owned all of the things that are serviced by people that you are paying a lot less money to. You might like a maid from Venezuela because she can't understand the phone call you had when you're cheating on your wife. And you pay her a lot less money. And she's not going to sue you. And you might want people to work in a factory who are undocumented because they don't have any rights. And you could pay them a lot less money. And you might want to bring in Indians and Chinese over. And again, this is not saying anything bad about Venezuelans or Indians or Chinese people, but you might want to bring Indians and Chinese people over if those people had a lot less bargaining power and were very happy to be here and would work long hours and would be thrilled. And then while they're here, some of them inevitably, especially a lot of the Chinese students, will engage and the workers in some form of corporate espionage. It'll all go back to China. And this leaves that every middle income person that people supposedly care about, this idea of like the guy with the wife and the kid who supposedly is the focal point of every policy is not at all who these people think about at all. They don't even pretend to. They only get worked up if Somalis are being unfairly maligned for a fraud scheme. And I'm not saying that every Somali is guilty of the fraud, obviously. But people don't get angry about anything unless they feel like some group that needs to be protected is suffering. But they don't seem to give a shit about anything else. There's no rage at the lack of health care, the retirement, the schooling, the crime. You don't see that. The condition of the cities, the fentanyl on the streets that's killing people ODing, you're walking your kids to school, they're dying on the street. There doesn't seem to be rage about that. There's rage that Donald Trump said some things that were unkind about the Somali community, which, by the way, here's the deal. He said a lot of unkind things about a lot of people. Who cares? I don't think it's a big deal at this point. He's a little uncouth. I think what's more of a big deal is the fact that, like, we're being fed into a shredder, quite obviously, by very wealthy, powerful people. And nobody can say to ourselves, wait a minute, we have to be a country. Doesn't mean we're a white country. Doesn't mean we're all Christian. Doesn't mean that we're all, whatever. But it does mean that citizens in America need some claim to their country. They need to understand that they are going to get some type of care, and that when you show up and you've been in a place for a few years and you engage in a Medicare fraud scheme and you see that there's hundreds of millions of dollars missing, people are going to react to that. And people are going to question whether it's a good idea that you're here or whether your values culturally align with the values of the United States. I don't know what the average Somali believes. I imagine it's somewhat different from the average lesbian art teacher in Vermont. It's a guess. I'm just guessing. But apparently that's all supposed to like work out. That's all going to be like great. And nobody should question any of that, by the way. And it's all working out very well in London. You can see how well it's working out. You can see how well it's working out all over Europe. And this idea that if you mention this at all, if you bring this up, if you want to engage with this, you're a Nazi, a racist, you're a psychopath, I'm telling you right now, it will make people those things. It will make them actual Nazis. It will make them actual racists. It will make them actual psychopaths who are paranoid and on the internet. So at the end of the day, if you want that, you will keep doing the things you do. So much, it became obvious when the gender madness was being pushed in schools that there was going to be a backlash. And if you were a gay person who spoke out, which I did, by the way, a lot, and said 7-year-olds choosing their gender is psychotic. And this is going to ruin people's lives, and it's going to cause a massive blowback against gay people, lesbians, and trans people, trans adults, trans whoever, anybody, children. I was right. All my friends in Hollywood were wrong. Okay? When I told people flooding the country with low-wage workers and the H-1B, you have people coming in here going to college. Americans can't go to college, and they're getting jobs at law firms and tech firms, and our own people are starving on the street. That's going to radicalize people. I was right. My friends were wrong. This is, you can see this coming from miles and miles away. Pam Bondi is now compiling a list of extremists. That's good news, huh? The target is those expressing opposition to law and immigration enforcement, extreme views in favor of mass migration and open borders, adherence to radical gender ideology, as well as anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, and anti-Christianity. All of these things, by the way, can mean a million things. By the way. I guarantee you. You criticize Israel, you'll be in that bucket. You criticize the administration too heavily, you'll be in that bucket. I wonder, wait till the tech people grab a hold of that. All of this stuff. Anytime the FBI is making a list of, and by the way, you're allowed to not like ICE. I don't think you should be attacking federal employees violently. You're allowed to not like anything. It's America. So anytime the feds are making a list of anyone celebrating the feds making a list, it's coming back. It's going to come back to bite you. All the things I just talked about, it's coming back. It's going to come back to bite you, obviously. And that's why, it's like incumbent upon people to defend people they disagree with from time to time, because we should never really be selling each other out to the feds. It's rat shit, So it's going to be interesting to see, again, what went on with this. I don't know why the Somalis took the money from the Pancake House. I don't have enough information. Maybe they didn't. It seems like they did. It seems like something went on. By the way, they wouldn't be the first. They're not going to be the last. Why doesn't Bari Weiss do a town hall in Minnesota with a couple of Somalis at the Pancake House? This is what Barry should be doing. Will Paramount acquire Warner Brothers? Go to Kalshi.com. The betting odds on that. Now, I think Netflix offered, $96 billion? I think Paramount came in with 108. Who will run the Brainrot Slop factory? Who will run it? Who will run this Brainrot Slop factory? You can't tell me one damn thing you watch that you give a shit about. We are killing the things that made us good. I I watched the Sopranos, the pilot. I made my producer watch the pilot of the Sopranos. Wow, how far we have fallen. I mean, there's great shows here and there, you know? But art is what made people be able to experience life without completely going insane. So the idea that you had great art that wasn't explicitly political, that allowed people to kind of understand the human experience on deeper levels, made people have better lives and not go insane. And when we turn everything into the Brainrot AI slop factory, okay, you're going to, what is Italian Brainrot? Can you play some of it?
Yeah.
Play some of this.
And I love ballerina cappuccino. Me, I'm ballerina cappuccino.
Well, this I like, actually. This is actually good. From The Sopranos to that, what is that supposed to teach you? That's the question. What are you supposed to learn from that? What are you supposed to take away from that? What epiphany are you supposed to have? What realizations about the human condition are you supposed to have from this? Play this. Let's listen a little bit to this music. Yeah, great. This is great. That's what the kids are watching, huh? Well, I don't know. I hope the company I like gets the slop factory. I hope the logo I like gets the slop factory. So what? Well, the Ellises are coming in. So what? They own everything. They own reality. So what? One family of psychos has to own reality. Let it be them. And I hope someone clips that and sends it to them. Where's my money? But I'm just saying, folks, this affects more than you think. The idea that we can barely produce anything watchable anymore, the idea that we can't produce anything watchable, and your kids are watching garbage, and you're watching garbage, and every show now is like some really retarded thing it's just violence and sex for no reason. There was a murder committed in a suburban fucking gated community, and it's, nothing is stylized, nothing is inspiring. Everything is crap. It's second screen. You watch something while something else is in the background, while you're on the phone trying to get the insurance to cover your Mounjaro, whatever you're doing. But it's a facet of life that if you kill it, if you kill art, if you destroy it, if you make it algorithmic sludge, it's going to turn people into monsters because they're not going to be able to explore their own humanity. They're going to become programmed like creatures. That's not what you want. You want somebody to watch something and be affected by it, no matter what it is. So if you lose that, if you completely lose that ability to make really good things, you're going to lose a lot more than you think. It's not just a question of, does Netflix own it? Does Paramount own it? Does Nestle own it? Do the Saudis own it? Do the Bin Ladens own it? Who cares? It really is a total cultural coup where human beings are going to be replaced by these algorithms that just shovel shit into the heads of you and your family until you all have no fucking... I'm even forgetting what I'm saying. No fucking attention span. See, it's even affecting me. The brain rot is just, you have no attention span. You're completely incapable of handling an hour, a 2 hour thing without. I'm telling you, it affects more than you think. It's easy to just write it off, say, who cares, who cares, who cares. But the inability to process something that is good is going to deeply, people need to see themselves on screen a little bit. They need to see, not always, not all the time, not in some paint by numbers way where they're like, let's make the coal miner trans. I mean, like, people need to see human beings and in recognizable human situations. And they need that. If it is lost, and I fear it will be lost, and I feel like we're in the final stages of it now, if that is lost and all the expressions of what you see are tech-driven, AI-driven, people, and it's already started to happening, are going to fundamentally change. Truly. So I'm hoping that the company that I like gets to Slop factory. I won't say which one it is, but it's the one that's given me like the comedy specials. The other one doesn't really fuck with me. The other one has chosen Bari Weiss. Bari Weiss over me. Imagine if I was doing that town hall, how much more entertaining it would have been, how much better it would have been. I just can't wait for her to inevitably go. Now, Erika, that was such a beautiful thing you said about Charlie. Let's do a quick pivot, shall we? What do you think about me? What do you think about me? I'm pretty cool.